Hello, my friends! Today we are going to take a look at the game called Surviving Mars, which is a fascinating game in the fact that it is kind of a SimCity builder-like game and a survival game all at once. This game derives its idea from, obviously, from the name. You're settling on Mars and you're trying to establish a colony on Mars. And the devs of this game created a decently challenging workflow for you to work with. You have to produce materials, you have to be able to produce oxygen and food, and especially when you get people there. And they start out the game with you using automated drones and stuff. You direct the drones to set up the base so that it can be inhabitable by humans, and you are able to progress through the game that way. Lacking in a total negative or antagonist, this game is very calm-paced, and it takes a lot of patience to play, owing to the fact that a lot of the stuff you will end up doing has to progress through time in order for it to be able to work out. Like, you have to wait for crops to grow in order to get food. You have to wait for a rover to get to the far end of the map to be able to find that research item that will help you get more research. It takes time to build buildings and stuff. And as agonizing as it may be to have to wait for some of this stuff, you also have to try to keep your citizens happy and keep them in jobs and make sure that the jobs are getting done so that you have the materials to be able to keep building the base and maintaining the base. And it's a very complex game that requires a good dedicated amount of attention. And even though it doesn't have a main antagonist, it's not like you're fighting against another system or some sort of AI or whatnot. You do have main challenges like meteor storms and dust storms and cold waves. There's even subtle little challenges like you'll have situations where some of the members of your expedition decide to go crazy and they start doing stealing stuff, or they start sabotaging various buildings. Throughout the game, as you progress to the final stages of the game and you essentially have fully established a colony on Mars, it is a stretch of challenges. What you need to understand, though, is that this game is phenomenally beautiful. Everything from the vistas of the scenery to how well each map is put together and made, everything in this game is beautiful and makes sense. Like, even from the tiniest drone all the way up to the large megadomes, they have a beauty to them and a splendor that was created with care, and each item has different phases of use as it starts to wear out and needs to be repaired, and it will show degradation or when they get destroyed by like a meteor or something like that, it will still look really awesome even in a destroyed state. The cinematic reality and beautiful layout of this game makes it so phenomenally fun to play that I keep coming back to playing this game. I don't find myself just playing it and being like, I've done that. I try to find other challenges, and I try to see if there's a way that I can do something more efficiently, or if I can survive a little bit differently by building different ways and trying different strategies. And this game invites that style and the kind of inspiration to be able to play in different ways and with different difficulties. Far too often I find myself just panning around and making the camera look in a direction that will just show me the vista as if I was one of these colonists living on Mars, and just what it might feel like to look out the glass of the dome and be like, wow, I'm on Mars. That's impressive. There's even mysteries that you can solve if you allow a mystery to be part of the game. And with the expansion of the space race, Surviving Mars expanded into having other countries also land on Mars, and you negotiate with them, you trade with them, or feign be it they do stuff to sabotage your stuff, or you sabotage their stuff. It gives a little bit more variety to the game. You also have little challenges like we'll send a rover out to go find things out in the the wilderness of the map, and all of a sudden that rover goes dead, and you don't know why. You have to go send repair teams, and it's got its own little interesting things. When setting up a new game, you have hundreds of choices of where you can place your colony on the planet, and every single choice has a different level of challenge to it. And depending on what you set up, like whatever country you choose, which type of leader you choose for your colony, you might have a really easy game, or you'll have an insanely difficult game. The highest I've seen any YouTuber do a challenge was in the 1,200 range of difficulty. And they set it up as a percentage. But right now, like one of my current games, I'm playing at a 550 difficulty. And it's pretty fun and challenging. It's been kicking me around all over the place because I keep getting things that slow down progress or whatnot, or my colonists don't do what I expect them to do, and all sorts of other things. I bought this game about a year ago, and I've played it off and on throughout the year, and I find it a good, entertaining game to be able to just sit and stew about strategy, because everything you choose to do in this game is going to make a ripple effect across the entire game, whether it be for the good or the bad. Sometimes you don't even know until several Martian days later. So, that being said, that's in a nutshell, Surviving Mars. I think it's a great game to play. It's a little bit slower paced, but it still is a really good game to play. That's all I've got for you today. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.